The greatest lie you've ever been told is that your mind is your greatest ally. We are conditioned from birth to trust our gut and listen to our inner voice, as if that voice were a sage mentor guiding us toward our highest potential. But look at your life. Look at the goals you set and abandoned, the gym memberships that went unused, the business ideas that died in the shower, and the difficult conversations you were too paralyzed to initiate. If your brain were truly your friend, it wouldn't be the primary architect of your stagnation. At Success Growth, we operate on a different frequency. We understand a fundamental, brutal truth. Your brain is not a success mechanism. It is a survival mechanism. It was never designed to make you wealthy or fit. It was designed to keep you breathing and invisible. To master your life, you must first understand the biological saboteur living inside your skull. Thousands of years ago, survival was a full-time job for our ancestors. They lived in a world of scarcity, where every calorie mattered and every unnecessary risk could lead to death. In that environment, a brain that whispered, "Stay in the cave," was an asset. It kept the species alive. We no longer live in caves. We live in a world of abundance, where the greatest threats aren't tigers, but the comfort of a soft couch and dopamine screens. Your brain hasn't received the update. It is still running software that is 50,000 years old today. It interprets a cold shower as a death threat, and a public speaking engagement as a social exile. This is the war you are fighting every morning. When the alarm goes off and you feel that resistance, that isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that your biological hardware is working perfectly. It's trying to save you from the effort and growth, because growth requires energy, and energy is a luxury. This is why you feel fatigue when opening a book, or why you suddenly remember you need to clean your room. It is a sophisticated defense system designed to keep you soft. Success growth is about ending the negotiation with this enemy. Most people wait for their brain to give them permission. They are waiting for a signal that will never come. Your brain will never feel like doing 100 push-ups. It will never feel like making that high-stakes sales call. If you wait for your mind to agree, you'll die. You aren't lazy. You are a victim of your biology. Today, we stop being the victim and start being programmers. Stop letting prehistoric instincts run your modern life today. The evolution of mediocrity. To conquer the self, you must first understand the design of your own cage. We often mistake our lack of drive for a character flaw, but in reality, it is a biological optimization. Your brain is the most energy-expensive organ in your body, consuming roughly 20% of your total metabolic energy. Because of this, it has evolved a strict policy of conservation. Anything that requires high cognitive load or physical exertion is flagged as a threat to your energy reserves. This is the origin of mediocrity. Your brain would rather you sit on a sofa, consuming low-effort entertainment, than go out and build an empire. To the brain, the sofa is a safe investment with a guaranteed return. The empire is a high-risk venture that might lead to failure. This conservation strategy is governed by the dopamine reward system. In the natural world, dopamine was a reward for finding food or a mate. Today, this system has been hijacked by modern society. It is a minefield of cheap dopamine. Social media and junk food provide the same chemical reward as a hard-earned victory. When you spend 3 hours scrolling, your brain thinks it has accomplished something. It doesn't know the difference between digital illusion and reality. This creates the consumer satisfied by the path of least resistance. They are not lacking potential. Their potential has been sedated. On the opposite end of the spectrum is the architect. The architect understands that the brain's natural state is entropy. If left alone, the mind will always choose the path of least friction. At Success Growth, we teach how to manually override dopamine. The architect doesn't work based on feelings. They work on design. Laziness is just saving energy for a famine that will never come. The architect views biological impulses as data points to be ignored. The conflict between the two is a daily battle for your identity. Every time you choose the easy path, you reinforce mediocrity. You are telling your brain, you are right. We are fragile. We must hide. But forcing yourself through difficulty is a revolutionary act. You are literally rewiring your brain to prioritize dominance over survival. You are moving from biological reactivity to conscious creation. This is why motivation is a scam. It is a fleeting chemical state. If you rely on motivation, you are still a slave to your biology. You are waiting for the saboteur to give you a weapon. The architect doesn't wait. They employ discipline as a necessity. They understand the brain as a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. To reach success, you must be willing to be unnatural. Go against every instinct that tells you to play it safe. You must decide that your legacy is more important than your comfort. Engineering a new relationship with suffering. The difference between those who dominate and those who exist lies in their interpretation of pain. To the average person, pain is a red light, a signal to stop. But at Success Growth, we see this as a tactical error. You must perform a radical internal re-engineering. Stop viewing mental friction as a barrier. See it as a compass. The feeling of, I don't want to do this, is not a warning. It is a signal that you are exactly where you need to be. This is the concept of strategic resistance. Think of your mind like a muscle. Growth requires stress. Without the pain of the lift, the body has no reason to adapt. Your character operates on the exact same principle. Most people look for life hacks to avoid the grind. They want the result without the resistance. But the resistance is the result. The struggle is the sensation of your old self being dismantled so a stronger version of you can take its place. You must adopt a stoic perspective on discomfort. That sinking feeling before a risk is not anxiety. It is preparation, the price of admission for your goals. Pain avoiders try to bargain with their growth. But you cannot bargain. The price is fixed in comfort. We teach our community a simple flip. Seek the friction. If a task makes you feel nauseous, it is your priority. The easy task belongs to the version of you that stays sane. The difficult task belongs to the version that grows. By choosing resistance, you desensitize your brain to effort. You're telling your brain you are no longer afraid of work. Eventually, your brain undergoes a transformation. It stops avoidance and starts to thrive on the challenge. Suffering was just a shadow cast by your own hesitation. Once you step into the fire, the heat disappears. This is how you become dangerous. When competitors look for exits, you look for friction. While they wait for ease, you get better at handling hard things. You want better problems and the strength to crush them. The instant execution protocol. The most dangerous gap is the space between an impulse and the action that follows it. Big failures are born in the small silences of hesitation. In those seconds where you think about it, your brain is launching a sophisticated counteroffensive. At Success Growth, we call this the hesitation trap. Once a thought lingers, your mind builds a case for safety. It finds 1,000 reasons why later is better than now. The window of opportunity is remarkably narrow. It's usually lasting less than 5 seconds. This is a neurological reality of your brain. When you have an impulse, your prefrontal cortex is active. But if you don't move, control shifts to the limbic system. This part of your brain values comfort and fears change. It floods your mind with excuses. It's too cold or you're tired. These are biological commands to remain stagnant. To defeat this, implement the instant execution protocol. From the moment of thought, you have 3 seconds to move. If you wait for 4 seconds, you have already lost. The goal is to act your way out of thinking. When the alarm rings, do not consider your rest. You count 3, 2, 1, go. Your feet are on the floor before the first excuse. Physical movement creates a cognitive break. It interrupts overthinking and forces the brain to catch up. You're essentially tricking the internal saboteur. The brain switches from prevention to management mode. It stops fighting because the start is already over. We value the dirty start over the perfect plan. A dirty start is fast, aggressive, and immediate. Hesitation is the true enemy of transformation. To thrive under pressure, you must be action-biased. You don't need more research. You need a shorter gap. When you feel doubt, engage the 3-second kill switch. Kill the hesitation before it kills your future. Constructing the discomfort framework. To master your biology, you cannot rely on willpower. Willpower is a finite resource, a battery that drains. You must enter the realm of architectural design. Build what Success Growth calls a discomfort framework. This is a tactical program to keep your brain in submission. If you don't schedule discomfort, your brain schedules decay. The framework begins with the daily combat routine. These are non-negotiable acts of war against weakness. They are micro-adversities that keep discipline sharp, like a 3-minute freezing shower the moment you wake up. The cold is a deliberate strike against your desire for safety. It reminds your survival mechanism that you are in control. Other examples include 100 push-ups before breakfast, or a deep work hour with your phone locked away. These are assertions of dominance over your impulses. As discipline grows, the framework must scale up. Physical discomfort is just the foundation. Higher levels involve professional and social bravery. For an entrepreneur, it might be the rejection quota. Making 10 calls where you expect a no before stopping. For a leader, it means addressing conflict directly. Social friction is often harder than physical pain. It triggers an ancient fear of social exile. Speaking up when scared desensitizes your nervous system. The discomfort framework must be non-negotiable. Most people do hard things only when they feel on. That is not discipline. That is a hobby. An architect performs even when exhausted or uninspired. The days with most excuses are the most effective days. That act is a psychological execution of your lazy self. Your goal is to reach automatic discomfort. You want the easy path to eventually feel wrong. Sitting idle should create a sense of healthy agitation. Train your brain to associate resistance with progress. When a crisis hits, you won't need to find strength. You have already built the infrastructure of a warrior. Your framework doesn't just withstand pressure, it demands it. Identity shift and the machine mindset. The final evolution is the transition from doing to being. You have been practicing the tactics of war. But these are not just tasks. They are the shedding of an old skin. Most people fail by clinging to their old identity. They say, I'm a lazy person trying to be disciplined. This is a fundamental error in your thinking. Your brain will view discipline as a violation of your nature. It waits for you to slip to return to the real you. To win the long game, you must undergo an identity shift. You are no longer a person who tries to do hard things. You are the type of person who does them by principle. This is the machine mindset. A machine does not wonder if it feels like performing. It does not check motivation before executing a command. It simply operates according to its programming. Adopting this removes the exhausting internal negotiation. You stop asking, should I? And start stating, I am. When you operate on principles, you become dangerous. Your feelings are no longer the captain. They are the weather. The weather may be stormy, but the ship continues its course. When your brain screams it's tired, acknowledge the data point. Do not change the course. You have decided who you are. The version of you that was a slave to comfort dies today. Realize this. No one is coming to save you. No one will provide perfect circumstances for your rise. Your biology prefers the cave. The world offers distractions. The only gap is your willingness to be unnatural. Choose to be a machine in a world of soft consumers. Welcome to the new era of your life. You have the blueprints, the protocols, and the identity. At Success Growth, we engineer our own reality. The war is over because you became too strong to care. Stop thinking. Stop waiting. Come the machine.